Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So for today's video, I'm going to be looking at a game called Atlantis. And I'm going to be checking it out on the Atari 2600. I'm also going to be checking out the Intellivision version. Now, Atlantis was made by a company called Magic, which I've talked about during my Dracula video I did on the Intellivision where I was playing Dracula. I probably even showed this cartridge. And it got me thinking, I do have both versions for the Atari and the Intellivision. For this one anyways, let's do a comparison video and see how they stack up. Now, this brought up a lot of conversations about the past of, back in the day when, when I'm saying back in the day, I mean like 82, 83, 84. A lot of games were being released for the Atari. A lot of games were being released for a lot of systems. And it just became overbearing. There was just so much stuff. And nobody knew what was good, what was bad, what was crap. And so there was a lot of, what people are calling shovelware, I guess, today. And I'm even hearing it on things like the Nintendo Switch, where there's just way too many games. Nobody knows what's good. But back in the 80s, it was even harder because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have chat rooms. We didn't have forums. We didn't have anything. It was like literally you walk into a store, you stare at the cartridges, the boxes, and you pick one, and you hope it's a good one. Either that or a friend already bought it and recommends it to you. So you really had to know your companies at the time. What made great games and what made crap. Now Magic was one of the companies that made a lot of great games. There's a lot of great titles for it. And you can tell they put a lot of work into their they're not the standard cartridge. Here's a standard Atari cartridge. It's just a square or rectangle thing. Not a lot, Whereas they actually put some style into their cartridge. They got a little groove here. They made it a little bit more snazzy. They got a magic built into it right there. The foil. Everybody likes the tin foily color. Even on the Intellivision, I actually have the box for it. Really nice packaging. Really nice work they've done on it. And even on the inside, they give you this nice, beautiful tray to hold the game. This is the Intellivision version. Keep in mind, this isn't the Atari one. I don't have the box for the Atari one. And you got the nice pretty overlay. So you could tell they put a lot of work into it. So it's not going to be a crappy game. And the same thing with say Activision. When you bought games from Activision, you knew they were going to be good. So anyways, I'm going to try these two games out. I'm going to start with the Atari 2600 and give it a shot. And then I'm going to compare it to the Intellivision. So let's see what happens. Okay, so let's start off with the Atlantis on the Atari 2600. Right off the bat, it starts off with a pretty interesting screen. I think, compared to some other Atari games where there's really nothing there, or just some text, they give you the game. They didn't go really out of their way to create an extra kind of title screen or anything. That's really just everything that's in the game flying by. Yeah, so you got your bridge down there, you got your little cities and stuff. So let's get this game going. I'm going to hit the reset button. 1982 Magic. The trick to this game is to figure out which gun you want to use. So you got a gun there, and you got one in the middle. That thing's dangerous. So to shoot in the middle, you just hit the button, and that's it, you just hit the fire button. These ones, you have to use your joystick to decide. You want to use this one, you got to push the joystick over there and hit the button. You want to use this one, the same idea. So you kind of got to go back and forth on your joystick. And then if you want to shoot up, well, I don't have my cannon there, so it got blown up. But if it was there, I'd be able to just hit the button and reset the game now. Now the thing I find, challenging about this game is that you really only can shoot that way or that way, and that's it. You got one angle to shoot at for each weapon. So you kind of have to figure out which one's going to be the better one to use. I find I just end up just shooting every gun I can, trying to hit stuff. There's that thing that comes in, literally nukes your middle gun there. I always find that one to be the hardest because it comes in so fast. Missing everything. Oh, there goes my bridge. Gone. I mean, overall, it's not a bad game. It's nice and colorful down here. The space is kind of boring, but... I mean, this is Atari, so we've got to be a little bit accepting of it. I like how the ships are colorful, though. Kind of that rainbow look to them. They could have gone with just a solid color, and they didn't. They decided to make the game look a little bit more interesting. And the explosions look pretty cool, too. Some of the explosions are really well done. Whoa, I think my city just got blown up. Ah, it's just water. Okay, so let's play Atlantis on the Intellivision now. So again, Magic 82, so they brought out the same year. You can see this actually starts off very similar, just showing the game itself. There's actually more action going on in this title screen though. It's actually playing the game almost. You can see it's a lot more graphically pleasing at the bottom. Instead of being in the nighttime, it's during the day. That's different. So let's see here. I'm going to have to pick one player. So let's see, one player. And it gives you a level option. I mean, with the Atari, you could flip this difficulty switches, but so this one I'm just going to go with the easy setting. Hit disc to start. That's fine. So let's do that. So this one has a soundtrack with it. I mean, overall it looks pretty cool. You can see the clouds up there. The ships are all solid color. But now you kind of got this crosshair, which is different. It's not just whatever it goes. You actually can say where you want that to go, which gives you a lot better playability, I think, than the Atari's version. And again, it's the same idea, but the other thing is you're not using your joystick to control these. You're actually pushing the appropriate button on the side to decide which one you want to fire. You got the two fire buttons on the side of the Intellivision controller. So one button up the top is it's this one, and the other button is that one. So the cool thing is too is in the middle you actually have a saucer now, a flying saucer thing that pops out and flies around, which is much different than just having a stationary gun in the middle. So now you can actually fly around, and then you can plop it back down if you want to go back to here. There's definitely a lot more going on. Those enemies kind of look like TIE fighters from Star Wars, which is interesting. A lot of colors in this game, very colorful. It's got the same idea. Here comes that thing shooting the ground. Same idea. This kind of dome thing was on the other side, I believe, on the Atari version. But I mean, it's a similar idea. So it looks like we've changed the screen color now. Probably like Astro Smash, I guess, where as you advance on, the screen colors change. Explosion and the sounds are exactly how you'd expect them to be on the Intellivision. My only question is, what makes you decide you want to use the saucer over the guns? I guess you have more control. Now with this, you can't shoot up. You can only shoot left and right. Which is different again from its Atari counterpart, where it only shot up. Its weapons look like swords though, or its missiles or whatever it is shooting. Kind of looks like swords. Weird. Go back into this mode again. Explosions are nice and colorful too. Whoa. Not doing too good. Oh no! My city got blown up again. Oh, we're at nighttime. This is cool now. We've got spotlights going on here. I guess that's the color scheme. It goes from the daylight to twilight to the dark. Now this is pretty challenging because the ships are black and the background is black. So you kind of got to wait till they show up in the spotlight or just start shooting like crazy. I'll just get up there with the UFO and just start, or saucer, whatever that is. Whoa, spotlights are kind of crazy. Whoa, we just got blown up. I think my my saucer just got destroyed. Oh no, I must have hit the bottom there. Overall, I kind of really like this version. I mean, there's a lot more to do on it. Definitely much more challenging, too. Whoa. Uh-oh. Day 2. Huh. I guess it just keeps scrolling from daylight to twilight to dark again. Pretty good version though. I really like this one. Nice and colorful. Okay, well, there we have it. I mean, two of the exact same games, completely different experiences. I felt like, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of the Atari one. I was kind of hoping I would like it a little bit more. It did kind of remind me too much of Missile Command, in that you didn't have too much control over what you were doing. And, you know, certain things were driving me nuts. The fact that you could not move the guns, you could not angle them or position them. It was just wherever it shot, that's where it shot, always in the same spot. Now, that might be good for some people because they can actually figure out, they'll know the timing and stuff. And it might be a little bit easier to figure it out. If you really want to sit there and you know the angles and you know the way it's going to happen, and you decide which guns to use at which times. I mean, overall, though, the graphics were okay. The game looked great, looked fun. It had some nice sound effects. Didn't have any music, I don't believe, but it did have some nice explosion effects. So, you know, overall, I mean, it's not a bad game on the Atari. It's, you know, pretty solid. The Intellivision one, though, I thought really shined. And that was neat. That was a neat touch. When it got to the nighttime and you saw the spotlights and stuff, I mean, that was just crazy. I like how it went. At first, I thought the color was it didn't matter. I thought, you know, it's just going to change colors just like in Astro Smash and Space Armada, I should say. You know, where just each level you just get a new color and it just makes it prettier. Whereas this actually was, you know, it's like daytime, you know, evening, nighttime. And the fact that you had the crosshair, you know, the little crosshair that you can control all over the screen, made it easier to actually go after this stuff that was flying around versus just hoping it's going to hit within the path of the shot like in the Atari. And the other thing was nice touches having that little flying saucer thing go around. Kind of gave the game a little bit more to do. If you just got bored of just shooting out of your cannons, now you got this thing that can actually fly around the screen and blow things up. I think I really had a lot of fun on the Intellivision one. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. I thought it was going to be a lot more similar to the actual Atari one. But, you know, I mean, they decided to push the system to its limits, I guess. They wanted to just, we got a lot more room here to do what we can on the Intellivision versus what they could have done on the Atari. Because they were both programmed around the same time, at least it looks like it. They both had the same copyright date. I could be wrong, they might have made the Atari one first, but who knows. Anyways, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Did you play this game? Did you enjoy it? Do you like the Atari one better? Do you like the Intellivision one? Or do you play it on any other systems? I don't have it on anything else. I don't have it on my 400, the Atari 400, or any other disk systems. So these are the only two that I have to compare. But I really had fun playing the Intellivision one for sure. Anyways, let me know what you think. Leave some comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.